Brandon with Davidson Audio, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new 2025 PowerPlus models for the Indian Chieftain, the Roadmaster, and just talk about what Indian changed for 2025, because it's not just the PowerPlus and the Chieftain. We also take a look at the Sport Chief and the Challenger and Pursuit as well. So this video is, we're going to be explaining the differences, or let me word this. We're going to be explaining what Indian did for the 2025 lineup that y'all need to know. And we're going to talk about what has changed audio-wise and let y'all know that we're already on top of it. The kits for the new Roadmasters and Chieftains are already in the works. So as soon as they hit the floor, the kits will be available for those. We've already confirmed a handful of things. So we are super excited to say that Davidson Audio will be offering the first aftermarket audio solutions for the PowerPlus, Chieftain, and Roadmasters. So we'll get into that later. So this video is just going to be going over what's new, what's changed, and what y'all should know. Now, by no means am I an expert in everything that Indian does. It's just what I did the research on. I haven't put my hands on any of these bikes just yet. So once I do, I can do a better video or a further video on that. But right now, from the research I've done off their website, comparing all the models and seeing what did change, I'm going to let you all know what to expect for 2025. The first change I want to talk about is going to be in the Sport Chief line, because this pertains to audio. It's going to be the Sport Chief RT. And what's really sweet about this, I'm actually super pumped that they did this because they added a few things. The first biggest thing is going to be the 90-watt PowerBand. Yes, you heard me correct, 90-watt. Technically, if you want to be specific, it's got 5 speakers. It goes behind the cowl of the ride, or the cowl, the little windshield in the front. And what they did is they put a 2.5-inch mid, 2 of them, 2 1.5-inch tweeters, and 1 4-inch woofer inside of that enclosure. And the reason for this is because the mid and the tweeter are going to be a component system, and then the woofer is just going to help fill in the mid. And they're saying it's a total of 90 watts, which will be Bluetooth. This will be compatible with the OEM Ride Command bezel that's on the tank that y'all are, or not the bezel, sorry, I'm mixing my Springfield up with this. It's up on the handlebars, a little gauge cluster. It's a small Ride Command. From what I saw in the videos, you'll be able to Bluetooth to that, and that will allow you to stream your music to their audio system. So I think it's pretty cool. It's something that we were thinking about doing with our Sport Chief, but I just, at the end of the day, I just looked at it and I was like, it's just not cost effective. How we were going to do it was going to be super expensive. So I decided to just push it aside, and I'm super glad and happy that Indian did it. Let's hope that maybe we pushed them. Maybe they heard that we were going to do something, so they made something. They saw a need in it, but I'm not going to toot my own horn. I just am super pumped that Indian did that. And again, that Ride Command looks the exact same. It doesn't look like anything's changed for the Ride Command across the board for any of the models. That's just me looking at it real quick. I cannot confirm that. But one big thing they did is painted to match locking saddlebags for the Sport Chief, which kind of makes it that RT, and it's got the 2-up seat. Looks super sick, and now some people are probably going to say it looks like a Harley ST. It does a little bit, but guess what? I love that bike. I had a Sport Chief. That with some Lloyd's cams absolutely is a riot. If y'all have one of those bikes, 585 cams, shout out to Lloyd. Let them tune it. That thing is a beast. It's just a lot of fun. So now that we finished talking about the Sport Chief, and yes, I did change the orientation of this. 1, because I wanted to see my notes, because there is quite a bit to talk about. And 2, my arm was getting super sore, so we're changing it up. But I also wanted to show you a beautiful Chieftain right here and our Harley. So let's dive into what changed for the Indian Challenger and Pursuits in 2025. The biggest thing that you're going to notice is the option for the 112 PowerPlus. Now, real quick, I'm not big on throwing out the horsepower and the torque ratings. You've seen us drop some of those videos. This is what Indian is claiming 100%. I'm just reading off their website. So as we all know, that the PowerPlus, the 108, is 122 horsepower and 128 foot-pounds of torque. Now for the 112, this is going to be 126 horsepower and 133 foot-pounds of torque. So it's 4 horsepower and 5 foot-pounds of torque increase. Now a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why would I spend the extra money? Because from what I saw on their website, it's $3,000 to go from a Dark Horse 108 to a Dark Horse 112. I'm going to explain there's more that goes into it than just the engine. Or if you get a 108 model, you can upgrade to the 112 from the factory for $1,500. Now, I don't want to say that's what the total price is, as I'm sure if you get it as dealer option, it's going to be an install fee. Or if you can order it from the Indian, I have no idea. I'm just simply saying. Now, a lot of people, this goes back to that question of, I really want to spend $3,000 for 5 or 4 horsepower and 5 foot-pounds of torque. It's going to make your 112 big bore kit that much cheaper. I have talked to Hooney's Garage and Mad Monkey, and their speculation is going to be is it's just going to make it that much cheaper and easier to do upgrade, because they're talking about maybe just a simple piston swap, and then a tune is really going to unlock that 112 potential. As we all know, when these companies do a bigger bore engine, like we went from a 111 to 116, from the factory, it's probably not that huge of a difference on what they're claiming the numbers to be. But we all know the aftermarket world can squeeze as much as possible out of these larger displacements. So honestly, if I'll save my opinion till later, until I go over all this, so you can really see what changes between the 108 and the 112. The thing that stayed the same is going to be the PowerBand. The PowerBand audio, the normal audio, the ride command, all of that stuff looks to stay the same. So there's not going to be any difference for the Challenger or the Pursuits audio-wise from what I was able to see off their website, digging deep into it. Now, mind you, we are going to have to wait and see what these look like when they actually show up. Let's talk about the differences, and this is where that difference of the $1,500 if you can order a Dark Horse 108 and just simply upgrade to the 112 for that $1,500 option. Now, I'm going based off of me building these bikes on their website. We all know how that looks differently when they actually show up. Or if you get the 112 model, the reason it's $3,000 difference is because the 112 models are all coming standard with a bunch of safety features. And these safety features, from what they advertise on there, is going to be one, a bike brake hold feature, which this is just like what your vehicles have. Whenever your vehicle's on an incline, whether it's an incline or decline, the brakes interact and hold the motorcycle there for you, thus allowing you to, if you're trying to, we all know how it is. You park somewhere on an incline, you go, and it's like you're fiddling with your clutch. This will allow you just to pull the clutch in, it'll hold your bike, and then you can just take off and go. The other features are some that I think are super cool, and it's great that Indian's taken it into the motorcycle world. I just don't know, for me, it's something I really would like, but it's going to be blind spot, tailgating, and rear end collision. So this is going to be utilizing you're going to see in the pictures, a little box that sits above your rear taillight assembly, right in the fender, right up top. And what this is going to give you is the blind spot, which all these features interact with your mirrors and the ride command. If you saw in the video or you look on the thing, the mirrors changes because on the inside of the mirrors, like you're holding bars up towards here, they've got little indicators, and then the ride command also indicates as well. So for blind spot, if you're riding and somebody comes up on your one side, mirror should show you, hey, there's somebody there. You look, boom, that person's there. The tailgating feature is one that I don't know that I would like because of how I ride. But if you're riding with somebody and they're riding up close to you, the ride command in the mirrors will alert you that somebody's like tailgating you right up on you. Now, maybe when you're on the highway, this might be a little bit of a better option because we all know how people are. They like to tailgate motorcycles for some reason. And then the last one's going to be a rear end collision. This one's pretty cool because not only does it indicate you on the ride command in the mirrors, but it sends a sequence to the taillights to flash and strobe them, alerting whoever's coming up on you really fast that, hey, they're about to hit you. It's a really good safety feature. So when I say that it might not be the ones for me, that's just simply me, my personal preference. But also, I don't want to be that person that's like, oh, the old technology is the best. Maybe when I go out one, I ride one, and I see these features in action, it's going to change my mind. I just think it's a great option that Indian went out of the way to add so many more safety features into the motorcycles, makes it absolutely phenomenal. One thing, just like the base models before, the base model Indian Challenger is not going to have an option for a 112. It's going to be strictly, you can buy it with a 108, and it's going to have none of the safety features. So what I'm speculating, if you wanted to get a base model Challenger and upgrade it to the 112, you should be able to, and that's going to put you in a very good price range for a base model Challenger with a 112. If you're not worried about the safety features, you just want a brand new bike with a 112, that may be a good option for you. And really, that's all the options that I see different for the Pursuits and the Challengers. So let's talk about what really changed for this year, and that's Indian Chieftain and Roadmaster. So for this bike, we all know there's been talks and rumors of the PowerPlus coming to the Chieftain and Roadmaster, and I am super pumped that they finally did it. I want to get one thing off the rip. Me personally, I think it kind of looks a little bit like the new Harley Street Glide, but guess what? I think it looks phenomenal. I don't really care, because we can go down this whole rabbit hole about how Harley copied Indian with the Challenger and now the Road Glide looks like it and vice versa. I don't really care. I just personally think that it looks absolutely phenomenal. And one really cool feature that they did, as you see in the videos, is right here in the bezel. It's like they copied the daytime running lights for the Indian Challenger and put them in the Chieftain and Roadmasters. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal. They did change the outer structure and inner structure of the Chieftain and Roadmaster. It looks really sleek. For me personally, it doesn't look like this part indentation is as noticeable, and then they widen the fairing just a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. You can only see so much in the videos. Let's really get to the changes of it. Essentially, to me, what it looks like is Indian took the Challenger and the Challenger and put a new revised Chieftain on it, because it's got the same inverted front forks, it's got the same brakes, same wheels, same everything, minus a different fairing. I still think it's great. It's going to give the Indian market a really solid non-fixed fairing option for the PowerPlus, and I think the bikes absolutely look sick. The ride command looks like it's pretty much the same. The gauge clusters did move, but this is where it's really going to change the audio for us, because it's not very clear. I'm fairly certain that it's still 5 1/4 in the fairing, but from the neck back, it's our Challenger Pursuit packages. So that's why I'm saying right now, as soon as our dealership gets one of these in, we're going over there before they fully assemble it. We're going to install a kit on it. We're going to test it, and then we're going to put those kits into production, offering. So now it's going to be the Chieftain and Roadmasters, the Thunderstroke, and then the PowerPlus models. So we'll have a full line, and now we can do a full 8-speaker build on one of these, which is going to be awesome. You can do 5 1/4, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, and 5 1/4. It's going to sound phenomenal, especially on a 1200.4. Systems rock. You guys are going to absolutely love that system. We can't wait to get one done. When it comes to the power, it's going to put the same amount of power. I did the research. The power, horsepower, and torque is going to remain the same, whether that 4 horsepower and 5 foot-pounds of torque difference between the PowerPlus 108 and the PowerPlus 112. And I mean, that's about it from what I saw. And it's the same safety features. So if you get a 108, the base model Chieftains is going to be a 108. Anything in the 112 and up. So you can still get a dark horse on 108, but if you get a dark horse 112 or a limited or an elite, actually, sorry, the elites, I don't think those are released yet for this, but that's all going to come with all the safety features. So again, that's about a $3,000 difference, but you have to think between the 112 and you get all the safety features, that's actually not bad, and it still puts these bikes down. I think a dark horse 112 Challenger or Chieftain with all the safety features is like $31,500. It's really not bad for a fully loaded Indian, and plus the new ones, they look sick. I just want to talk about that one more time. Super awesome. So that's the biggest. I know I kind of went on a tangent, it was kind of all over. I was hoping to have it a little bit more structured, but I'm super excited that Indian did this. The bikes look phenomenal, and I think they did a great job in the new PowerPlus Chieftains and Roadmasters. I want to see what y'all's comments are. If you've made it this far in the video, drop a comment on what you think about the new changes that Indian made, from the safety features, the 112 coming in both bikes, and also the new revision to this Chieftain and the Roadmasters. Some key notes and questions that I had was, if I order, like say I want to get a base model Chieftain or Challenger, can I as a customer get that but order it with a 112 upgrade to save that money, because I'm not worried about the safety features? That's a question I want to ask the dealership. Also, I've already talked to Ride Culture, and he has assured me as soon as Lloyd gets one of these in, he's going to go up there and test the Ride Culture lights on that bike, because we're curious to see how Indian is affecting the signal in the rear for the taillights for that rear end collision where they strobe, letting the person coming up to you know that, hey, I'm here, don't hit me. So Ride Culture's already on top of it. As soon as the bike comes in, they're going to go over and test it and let us know and let the community know, hey, our lights work on these bikes. You're good to go. Some things that I was personally a little disappointed with, and I don't think y'all will agree, but there had been rumors that there was going to be a 121 or a 122 Thunderstroke coming out. That didn't happen. But I also don't blame Indian. They may push that out next year, because why would you drop everything all in the same year? And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I was really, really, really hoping to see the 112s this year only come out in the elites for this year, and then maybe next year trickle it down. And I know some people are going to be like, man, that's a dumb idea. It's really not. I've been hoping and hoping every year that Indian does something a little different for the elites to really make them stand out. Because if we look back in our victory days, the Magnum X1 was not a cookie cutter, was not the exact same thing as a cross country. It had a different paint scheme, it had different wheels, it had different rake. It was different. Like people, like when I had my cross country, I went out and bought a X1 wheel. I bought the fender, I bought the rake kit and the whole 9 yards, because I wanted the X1, and the audio was completely different. So I just put that out there because I really, really, really want Indian to do something different to really make the elite stand out, like the CVOs did, like the Magnum X1 did. Indian, we want to see something different on the elites. I want to see a different wheel. I don't want to just see a cookie cutter accessories thrown on an elite. I want to see something different that makes people strive to be like, I want an elite because that only comes on an elite. I digress. I know I kind of went off on that tangent, but it's just my personal opinion. I would have really, really, really loved to see that happen, because that would have made the 25 elites like really sought after, because it would have been the one and only year where all those changes would have been made to that one bike. Other than that, drop a comment on what you liked, maybe didn't like, what you want to see. Like, hey, I'm just saying a Springfield or a Sport Chief with a 122 or a PowerPlus 112 would be nasty. Could you imagine riding around on a 112 Sport Chief? I think you'd have to put a huge tire on that thing to catch traction, because already with a 116 and Lloyd's cams, it's fun. A 112, whew, that'd be a riot. So drop those comments, let us know, because I would love to hear y'all's opinions. Maybe we'll drop some more videos. Well, not maybe, we will as soon as we get our hands on that bike, to let y'all know what's going on with the audio, what we can do with those bikes. And we hope y'all let us know that you're going to bring the bikes over here so we can get them done for you guys and really bring all that stuff to market. So again, I'm Brandon with Davidson Audio. If you're looking for the best aftermarket audio solution for your Indian, Harley vehicle, period, make sure you come check us out here in beautiful Panama City, Florida. Bill walked in the video in Dayton, and they'll be here setting things up as well. So come check us out. We'd love to take care of y'all. God bless every single one of you guys.